Welcome to the PSNORKIS podcast, a show with real topics discussed by real people with real opinions and tempered with a real sense of humour. Now here are your two PSNORKISers. Or is it PSNORKI? Screw it. Here are your hosts, Dr. Myke and the Madman.
Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic. Whoa!
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the PSNORKIS podcast. The podcast, the show where we talk about just about anything, but anything we talk about is fair game for any type of sarcasm, joking around, although some things are serious, and well, you can tell when we're being serious, and you can tell when, well, I'm just being me. It's not that hard to figure out. You'll get the hang of it if you're new to us, and I don't do it alone, though. I have people. I have support staff. I have a partner.
Yeah, you do.
I was waiting for him to say something, but he didn't. Sitting over there to my right, of course, is my co-creator
Cut me out.
and my partner, Dr. Myke.
Yeah.
I'm the Madman, by the way.
That's Lord Madman to you.
Lord Mad. That's right.
Lord
I forgot.
Mad.
I do own land in Scotland.
Yeah.
I'm Lord Madman.
Uh-huh. Knighted.
And don't forget it. No, I'm not knighted. That's something different.
All right. Still Lord. Just better than Lady Madman.
Yep. And with us tonight is the rocket herself.
Ready to take off to better places, warmer places.
Warmer place.
I hear
Well,
that.
both warmer and better. You're in the wrong place. I'm telling you that right now.
No, I'm with great company though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, misery loves company.
The rose between two thorns.
I'm a big thorn. Just saying.
We are doing a weeknight edition because we need to get a few shows going. We had a technical glitch on the one we did last week. It got lost in the computer ate it.
Becoming a
We
habit.
get sucked back into 2021.
The computer base. Yeah, I think so.
You know what? That was a good one,
It was
too.
a New Year's show too.
That was a good one.
It was yeah.
That was a good one. Wow,
It was New Year's Day too. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, we're all hungover.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't either.
Because I'm in bed by
Yeah.
10:30 on New Year's
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah?
I'm on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to me. I spent
Yeah.
so many years DJing and playing in bands. I had to go out New Year's Eve. I didn't have a choice. I mean, it was profitable, don't get me wrong.
I get you.
But once I stopped making the money doing it, I'm like, you know what? This really isn't that much fun. And let's face it, at my age, if I want to see a ball drop, I get up in the morning and stand in front of the mirror.
That's
gonna
too
say,
low.
just-
Happy
the
New
toilet.
Year's to me. Twice.
I don't want to start the year off with a Duncan. Jeez.
Oh.
Well, Happy New Year.
Gonna change his name to Duncan.
There's a lot to be said for heated toilets.
Yeah.
I'm just all I'm saying.
The water's deep. Just saying.
Did anybody see this surprise little cartoon with the, surprised by the bidet?
No.
Oh, man. I still have not had the...
The guy was on the other side of the bathroom. Water was squirting out, and it was at his backside, and it was like,
Oh, it was a remote control. And they didn't know it was coming? Oh, that's funny.
I have no idea,
That's
but it was
funny.
surprised by the bidet was the caption underneath.
That's funny. Never used one.
No?
Nope.
Not me neither.
We do have some members of our family that are absolutely obsessed with a clean bottom.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I am do
That's
it,
good.
but I do it the old-fashioned way. I
Buckets?
wipe it till it bleeds.
Oh, jeez.
It's that John Wayne toilet paper.
Well,
rough
that and I got a
tough and
couple
doesn't
small
take any
hemorrhoids. I
shit.
mean, it doesn't take much. I sneeze and they bleed.
That's a good image for everybody.
Yeah, we all needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Hey,
sharing.
I'm honest. I'll always be honest. I won't be politically correct. I don't know what it means, but I will always be honest.
Honest is good. I like honest.
You know what they say, pleasing people is very difficult, but pissing people off comes extremely easy.
Yeah, that's easy.
Especially for me, because I'm brutally honest. I'll tell you the truth and hit you with a baseball bat.
Wow.
People are so sensitive.
Yeah.
Frail little flowers, aren't they?
We can talk about that for hours.
We
Jeez.
She looked at me.
Snowflakes.
Yeah.
That's winter time.
Hey, you want a safe space? Stay in the womb. So as far as I'm concerned, that's all I'm saying.
It's a good idea.
Once you're out, you're fair game,
You
just
get
like the rest
slapped
of
right
us.
away as soon as you get out.
Boom.
Whack.
Right, exactly.
Stick some plexiglass in there, and you could have a womb with a view.
Oh, jeez. Jeez. We all saw that coming. We walked into that.
Yeah, but we did it willingly, though.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, and we did it anyway. Just
We'll be here all week. Boom. Nice.
So anyway,
Yeah. So it's a new year.
it is a new year.
Yeah, and it's
Same old me.
same old rocket.
And of course, Petey had to work, because she works the second shift, so
Shout out
she
to
can't be
Petey.
here
Hi,
when we
Petey.
are. But she did know we were doing it, and she'd leave us with a list of some history stuff. And
Love
Rocket,
history.
you've got that.
Come on,
So
Rocket. Let's do it. What we got?
So in 1981,
Oh,
on this
1981 was a great year.
I was 6. I
day,
was
the
6?
song
6.
Rapture
I was
by
6.
the group Blondie.
Blondie, Debbie Harry, yeah.
Yep, it was a Hot 100 chart, making it the first #1 song to feature rap vocals.
Oh wow!
Rapture,
First #1.
Blondie,
Wow.
a white chick.
Fan of Blondie?
Actually, I was.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Blondie songs, and there are quite a few. Actually, they're almost all off the same album, the Parallel Lines album. One of my favorites was Heart of Glass.
Oh yeah. Everyone likes
Now, I was, 81. I was 15. So yeah, I had bought a lot of 45s growing up.
that. Yeah.
For those of you that are
that
a
was
little
coming
young,
next.
Not
a-
guns. Not the
a
guns.
45. Oh, I've got a couple of those too.
Yeah,
They're a
I'm
small
big
record.
fan.
Not a
It is
15.
a small 7-inch record, and for
Made
those
of
of you,
vinyl.
it's which is like a little donut-shaped flat.
And you
thing
needed a
with-
special,
and
and you
you-
need a special contraption for it to fit onto your
Right.
record player.
Oh yeah, the little yellow
Yeah,
thing.
the little yellow guys.
I have a couple of those yet. I'm going to actually frame them and put them up because you can't even find them anymore. Not even for.
Well, that's one of those things that
Yeah,
they put up
and
now.
they
And
have a
ask the
name,
kids,
and I
what
forgot.
are these two?
have
I
no
forgot
idea.
the name.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
they actually have a name, but I always forgot it. And I even DJ'd, but I forgot it. So I bought a lot of 45 album records. But 45s were limited because they rotated faster, so the songs you could put on them, you could only get so much on. It was like I think it was just shy of 4 minutes you could fit on a 45, and you literally just run out of room.
One song.
Right.
yeah.
Which was great for like what we now call oldies, because most of those were only 2 to 2.5 minutes long.
Well, isn't the
even-
average song just under 4 minutes, right?
Yes. Yeah. But the disco version of Heart of Glass was 5 minutes.
Oh really?
Exactly. Couldn't fit in a 45.
No.
And I had bought lots. Blondie's Parallel Lines was the first full album I ever bought because I wanted the long version of that song.
Makes sense.
That was the first one. Little did I know I'd be DJing for years after that, but that was the first album
Blondie's
I bought,
fault,
and
see?
it was specifically for that song.
Yeah.
And then I played the rest of the album like, hey, this is some good stuff.
What else is on there? What's another good one on there?
Sunday Girl,
Sunday
One
Girl.
Way or Another,
One. That's
Fade Away and Radiate,
nice.
Picture This.
Trying to.
There's another one I can't remember the name. Can't remember it offhand. Trust
They're
me,
good
I
songs,
know
though.
that album.
They're good songs.
I like them.
Debbie Harry, very talented.
Yep,
Nice.
a little squirrely, but very talented.
Well, I mean, most artists do have a
Little squirrely
little,
hell.
a little
What do you
odd,
mean?
a little oddness to
And
them.
didn't
too.
know when to hang it up. Didn't know when to hang it up. She was
somebody should
she's
talk
still
to Cher
alive,
about
but
that
she was
then, right?
she was still doing it, but she'd lost it, and she just refused to believe she lost it. And even though all of us were telling it, you kind of lost it.
Time to go.
Well, then it's more about chutzpah than talent.
But anyway,
Yeah, that's cool. So it happened.
yeah. So that was, yep, that was
1981.
1981, and that was a different album, because Heart of Glass was actually technically recorded in the late 70s in the disco era,
Yeah.
but it didn't really chart until 1980. So you can still call that album an 80s album,
Gotcha.
even though it was recorded and released. It didn't really chart until. It's one of those that was literally right on the cusp there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Blondies have more fun. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think redheads get away
I
with
don't know.
it.
She was married to her guitar player. I don't know if she did.
Was
or not.
she?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. How'd that work out?
As far as I know, they're still together.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's rare.
But then again, so is Pat Benatar.
Yeah, her and her husband are
and
together.
they're still together.
Yep. Yep, and he was her. I think he's her bass player.
Excuse me. But it could be.
I'm not
remember.
I'm not positive on that.
Something with strings. I'm a drummer. What do I know? It has something with strings on it. I know that.
Clearly, if you're going to have a relationship and you're, back in that time frame, you were definitely for sure traveling a lot.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
you're going to have a love interest to be taken with you.
Yeah. Same thing when you work too close to somebody for too long.
So what else we got?
All in the Family.
Oh, great show.
1971, the TV show All in the Family debuts on CBS. It was groundbreaking for handling previous taboo topics such as racism, homosexuality, women's lib, religion, and the Vietnam War. The episode in which Sammy Davis Jr.
I was going to say Sammy Davis Jr. was on that.
Yeah, he kisses Archie.
Yep,
I do clearly remember seeing
that. It's a great show.
I have an image of that. I could see that right now.
It was known
Have you seen
as...
it, though?
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Kiss Heard Around the World.
I used to watch that show.
Yep.
It was funny.
And then after...
How long did that run?
Oh, gosh.
That ran for a long time.
It did run for a while.
Yes, and there were
And then there were a couple of
spin-offs from off there. The
from
Jeffersons.
Archie Bunker's Place.
I remember that. Jeffersons was a spinoff.
Yep. Archie Bunker's Place after Edith passed away. Mm-hmm. He actually got a black, not exactly housekeeper, but sort of like to help him around the house, assistant type of thing.
That.
Doesn't he end up with his niece? He ends up with a child in the house.
Yes.
I think it's his niece or his great niece. He ends up with a family member in the
But
house.
at one point there, he has a black housekeeper that's helping him, and they actually, despite what he was like, they actually became friends. He ends up defending her when a couple people call her certain words that you don't hear much anymore, except in rap music.
Yeah.
And we won't even go into why we still hear him there if they hate it so much, but we'll get into that another time too.
That's a long. Jeez.
Anyway.
Well, that was a long series, and then Jeffersons was a long series.
Mm-hmm.
That took up most of our childhood.
Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah.
And cartoons and television programs on the floor in the living room when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Batman debuted in
Batman.
1966.
That wasn't really a cartoon. I mean, it was live. It was
That was live.
It was the
Don't
first
you
live
remember all
action.
the big-
Started out in
the
black
big
and white.
cows and the
The
booms
bams.
and
bam.
Yeah. That was all animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made it so
That was
cool.
awesome. Adam West.
Yeah.
Adam West, Burt Ward, 3 different Catwoman. And,
That's right. There were different.
Eartha Kitt was a
Eartha Kitt was the
Catwoman?
best.
Yes.
Eartha Kitt was the best.
Also a singer.
Wait, actually, no. Eartha Kitt, I'll go second best. My favorite was the original one.
Julie
Newmar.
Yeah, I was going to say her.
Yep. She was just, wow. She was incredibly sexy. Even back then when I didn't even know what sexy was. But just like, I was like, I kind of like the way she looks.
Yeah,
I don't even know why yet, but I did.
Our modern day Catwoman is Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
See better.
woman.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer, did she play Catwoman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now you're talking.
Same thing.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, okay.
No? Better than Halle Berry.
No, that's true. That's
Come on.
true.
Halle Berry, sit down.
That's true. Lee Merriweather as Catwoman, that just never did work for me. It didn't work
Just
for
a
them
little
either.
too pure.
Yeah, you think? But all the people that were on that, Burgess Meredith played the Penguin. Cesar Romero played the Joker.
Who played the Penguin?
I just said Burgess Meredith.
He was the Penguin,
yeah,
right?
yeah, he's
And that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, and now the only way
Frank Gorshin, the Riddler.
I can only see him playing in Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah.
For just a funny man.
Oh yeah,
Who knew he was so comedic?
and there were people lining up to take a role on Batman, and everyone thought it was campy and stupid and should be taken off the air. And there were people lining up saying, "Oh, please pick me, pick me, pick me."
Men in tights. Go figure.
Men in tights. Yeah.
All right.
And 1967, the body of James Bedford was frozen cryogenically. It's the first person that they did that with. He currently resides at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation, awaiting a time that he might be revived. He died from cancer.
So they saved his cancer-ridden body?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can scoop the cancer out someday.
No, so far, no. Not
We'll
so
get
good.
back to that in just a second. It's about time to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back right after this.
Hello, this is LegacyBrewing.shop. How may I help you?
Yes, I was wondering, is it true that shipping is free?
Why, yes, it is, sir.
And is it also true that every purchase donates to charity?
Absolutely. We donate 10% of all proceeds to wildlife preservation.
That's amazing. Okay, hang on. I'm going to LegacyBrewing.shop now to place my order. Please hold. I won't be long.
Sir, you don't need to be on the phone with me to place your order.
Okay, I'm back. How soon can I place my next order?
As soon as you'd like. Just go to LegacyBrewing.shop, place your order, and have it shipped to your home for free.
Okay, thank you.
Legacy Coffee. What is your legacy? If you love this show, check out the official PSNORKIS gift shop at LegacyBrewing.shop. 10% of all proceeds go to wildlife preservation. Support our podcast and save our planet, all at the same time. Link in the description of this podcast.
The Pendulum Society is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization, achieving the impossible by orchestrating a cultivation of business relationships to take out the stigma of homelessness, both human and animal. We forward the traditions of preservation of nature, wildlife conservation, open space, and history. Music and cultural foods bring together all peoples for a stable foundation at our two main gala events, Alpha Centauri and Fools Gone Wild. The tick-tock of time illuminates and elucidates our clients, the fruition of stable permanence. What does your time say about you?
Okay, so before we took our break, we were talking about the guy that was...
No.
We don't have to go that. No, that doesn't sound right. We're talking about the guy that the first guy that was frozen cryogenically.
No.
Here's the thing. I don't see how you can be brought back.
They freeze his brain. Is that what they did?
It doesn't. Probably, yeah, probably all of it. But here's the thing. We all know what frostbite is.
Yeah.
All right, frostbite is when the cells basically freeze and rupture. The moisture in the cells freeze and then rupture the walls of the cells because water expands when it freezes. What is there to bring back? Literally every cell in his body at this point, not at this point, but even way back, like 10 minutes after they did it, all right, is literally damaged. What is there to bring back?
I don't know.
Everything is damaged. You
were they expecting to reanimate it?
Well, obviously that was the idea, but
when?
It doesn't matter how long.
Maybe they're looking for a way to
damaged.
undo all that damage.
Yeah, maybe they thought by now we'd be smarter than we should be, smarter than we are.
You could freeze dry coffee that maintains its flavor.
Yeah, legacy coffee. See?
Yeah, there we go. Got right into that. But no, I mean scientifically, when I thought about this, I'm like, wait a minute. I know what happens to cells when they freeze. It's like literally every single cell in his body is ruptured.
Yeah.
So when you do thaw it out,
pudding.
It's I don't know. I mean, we've all had a steak in the freezer that we got left in it a little too long. Yeah. Then next summer we're like, oh yeah, I got a couple steaks. Let's throw these on the grill. You take them out.
No,
it's like, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
that's a year in the freezer.
Yeah.
This guy's been in there since 1967.
What was the original plan? No. What was the plan? 10 years?
Well, this I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, just.
I'll have to have PD look that up for us.
Like I say, you see people that climb mountains, get frostbitten, come back and lose body parts because they're frostbitten because they can't repair them.
Yeah.
What made some idiot say, hey, you know what? We're going to freeze your whole body after you're dead, and that way we'll bring you back in like 50 years. Like, no, you're not.
Probably thinking science would have...
If you're on your way out and they're like, we're going to freeze you and bring you back. Okay. What do I have to lose?
That's true.
Yeah.
That part is true. What do you have to lose? Yeah. I mean, they do wait till you're actually dead before they start the process. At least they're supposed to. Me, I I'd hedge my bets and like just before, just to make sure maybe I get it fresher. But I'm just mean. So what do I?
Well, look at all the things that end up cryogenically preserved. Science today.
Oh, some things can be and others can't.
Well, sperm,
meat,
eggs. You know, that's
how long do they keep them frozen?
I'm not sure. I don't know what
That's
the
gotta be-
longevity
Well, see,
is.
that's just it. That's the funny thing, and they're like single cell organisms. Yet they'll survive. I don't understand that. So maybe that I didn't take that into consideration. There's a good possibility that's along the lines of what they were thinking of when they did this.
Maybe. No, we'll have to find out. I'll do some research. I'll check it out.
If I cared enough, I would. But I don't.
By the way, has anybody thought out James Bedford?
No, I'll do that.
Hey, look at him. He's a soggy old man.
Yeah. Like, maybe they hung that project up. I think they're done with that.
Right.
Ooh, they drip dried him.
Yeah. Put them out in
They
the
hung
sun.
that project up.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Do you have any others on that list, or was that it?
Is that what Petey got us?
Well, the rest of it's all sports kind of stuff.
And
Not my
I thought there were two music ones.
Not my choice, but hey.
That could have been wrong. Okay.
Yeah, Blondie, and we had what was the other one?
I thought there was a second one, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. Okay, so there we go.
No, there's our history.
There's the history.
Well, that's good.
So.
I like history.
Yep.
That's different when Petey's not here.
It is.
We need our active researcher.
Yes.
Hey, Petey.
He's the one that does all the research.
Yeah. We need to know how long they hung this up for. Yeah. Go ahead, fire away. Whoa. Yeah, fire away. Yes, have some. Okay.
January 12th, 1967, Norwegian Swedish model. She was the cover for the 1993 Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Yama.
Her name is Vendela.
Oh, she was okay. She was born in '67.
Born in '67, but she ended up on the cover of the 1993 Sports
Yes,
Illustrated.
she did.
Beautiful.
Look at that picture.
What a beautiful woman.
Very. Where's she from? Sweden?
She's Norwegian and Swedish.
Oh, yeah, I got to go over there. Now we're going to have to take a trip.
Howard Stern was born today.
Today? Happy birthday, Howard.
In 1954.
Oh, wow. Well, he just gave away his age. Uh-oh.
I think everybody kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Did you ever read his book?
I saw his
Private
movie.
Parts. You know what? I saw the movie too.
Oh.
But if you really want to laugh,
Oh,
even though
really?
you're sitting there by yourself, reading in a room all by yourself, and you realize I'm literally laughing out loud at this.
Does he go into
Read the
stuff?
book.
Like,
He's just naturally funny with the stories he tells
really?
about his father being in radio first.
Yeah. Is it
He's
close
the
to the
original
movie?
Yeah.
shock jock? Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is.
It's close to the movie? Or
Yeah,
no?
it's close to the movie, but there's a little bit more background to some of the things that makes the movie make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, nice.
But, oh, dude, read the book. It is funny.
I remember when I was in college, I listened to his show. Didn't like him.
You know
at
what?
all,
That's just
but I
it.
couldn't turn him off. I just kept listening.
I wasn't a big fan of his show.
Yeah, and then I started
I
to
wasn't
really
a big
like
fan of his show. I think he went. Sometimes he went too far. He was a lot of times he was crude just for the sake of being able to be crude and get away with it. You know, and it's like, well, hey, we can all do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty good at that myself too. I just choose to go right there on the edge and let the listener's imagination finish the rest of the sentence or thought, as it were. You know.
There's one bit in there in the movie that I was cracking up at when they were doing the fill in the blank game. You remember that? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to ruin it. Go watch the movie. It's hilarious.
Do you okay, here goes. 70s TV. A show called Match Game with Gene Rayburn.
Yes.
Wait, Match Game?
Match Game.
No.
That was a fill in the blank. That was that
A
thing.
game, 6 panelists,
Yep.
Really?
2 contestants.
Yep.
What did they do?
You
Just
know,
fill in the blank.
It was he'd read a statement, you know.
What, just,
like dumb Debbie is so dumb, and of course the whole audience would go, how dumb is she?
Yeah.
She's so dumb. She yada blank, and then it was up to the 6 contestants to come up with. You'd see them writing it down.
to come up with anything?
Yeah, which
that's
would fit.
hilarious. Yeah.
Come up with
That would
anything
be awesome.
and not see it, and then the audience. And if the audience matched one or more
they
of
had to
them,
pick it.
they get a
Okay.
point for each one they matched.
Oh, gotcha.
And some of them were just like, "Where the hell did that come from?"
Yeah.
Oh, that show was so funny.
I didn't see that one.
So
comparable
funny.
to Family Feud with
Richard Dawson. Yep.
Well, no. Who's our new one? Steve Harvey. I die.
Yeah, he is actually pretty good at that. I've seen a couple of them.
He actually calls
God.
some people out for being stupid.
Yeah, he can be pretty funny. I kind of like Steve Harvey. I won't lie on that. Yep.
Yeah,
I remember
good.
Gene Rayburn, and he had that. I still have not been able to find the model of, because you know me, I'm a geek when it comes to audio equipment, being in radio for like I used to be for 10 years, and that microphone that was that long
that
microphone,
long thin one. I know why you like that one.
Well, it was neat because it was like one of the first.
Looked like a rocket.
It was one of the first
not you, rocket.
condenser microphones, just on the end of basically a stick.
Yeah.
And it was a telescoping one, so it could be folded up and put away. Yeah. But he could hold it from down here and not have to actually hold the mic up high like this. And it just he just made it look so natural using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just always thought that even as a kid, I'm like, hey, that microphone's different from the others. I guess that's when I again realized I was going to end up doing broadcasting at some point.
You like the microphone?
Yeah, I like equipment. Like the one I'm using, one of my favorites, the RE20.
I like equipment.
Big time with the RE20.
Now you got rocket going. That's equipment.
That's that's what I'm good at.
Oh, that's good.
Messing with equipment.
Yeah. Today, Rocket uses all types of equipment. Jeez. What's your favorite type of equipment, Rocket? You like these? Would you like the handheld one, like Madman's talking about, or
the long skinny one with the telescoping handle?
Or you like the one he's got rocking right now?
We don't want to tell you we're we got dirty minds here. Our minds are not in the gutter; they are on the curb waiting for a ride.
No, I'm just wondering. These are inquiring questions people want to know.
That's one of my favorite lines that you have.
Remember the dating game? Who was that? Chuck somebody.
Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery. Remember that?
Oh my God.
It'd be like the audience would pick somebody, and if they picked that one, they paid for it.
I don't know. That one never
No?
never did anything for me. No.
Yeah.
I like the ones where you had to think. Concentration. You guys remember Concentration? Do you remember Concentration? Yeah. Where you got a piece of the puzzle. If you match it, if not, you had to wait till Yep.
I don't remember
and
that.
And it was like a pictogram type of thing. You had a... Yeah, I love that.
I don't remember that one.
That and...
the ones that make you think, I always
Hollywood
loved.
Squares.
Hollywood Square. Oh, that was just... That could be funny.
Yeah.
Hollywood
and with
Squares
Paul Lind on it
too.
before he died could be raunchy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Paul Lind played Samantha Stevens' uncle in Bewitched.
Bewitched.
Oh, okay. Now I know who that is.
Yep.
Bewitched was a good show. Used to watch that.
Yep.
She was a pretty lady.
Yes, she was.
Pretty lady.
Very pretty lady.
So was the girl that played I Dream of Jeannie.
Jeannie, yeah. Who was that?
Yeah, Barbara Eden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful women.
Yep.
I think models at some point in their careers, models.
Sure, they had to be. They were going to be on the world stage. You know what I mean? They wanted everybody to watch it.
I remember reading about I Dream of Jeannie, all kinds of problems when they initially did that show because
the
her
outfits.
navel was exposed. Oh,
that was a big deal back then.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a
very
It was
big deal back then.
huge.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Now you're lucky if they have anything on. Good Lord.
Now you can.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had All in the Family on now, today, in today's climate. Well, what that would be like.
Well,
Oh.
you know.
Well, you know what? It's just, believe it or not, if you look on YouTube, on the internet, there are a lot of what they call reaction videos.
Right.
And what it is, it's somebody sets their camera up or their phone or whatever it is they're using. You know, if they only use their phone or iPad, computer camera, or an actual whatever, they all take good pictures now. Trained on them
Watching that.
while they watch or listen to a song or something like that.
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago, I happened to come across a couple of them watching that.
Watching All in the Family?
And these were black people
Uh,
that were watching All on the Family for the first time, laughing their off, going,
Really?
"This is funny," especially when you consider back in
then,
the day.
Back then, it was
that
wasn't.
and it's the same thing. I've seen reaction videos of black people watching Blazing Saddles
Oh yeah.
by Mel Brooks.
We talked about that. Yeah.
All right. To a man, every single one of them is rolling on the floor laughing.
Right.
Because they realize that it's not racist. It's picking fun at racists and showing just how
How dumb
stupid
it is, right.
things used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've evolved.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, we've evolved.
Yeah, I think so.
And in other ways, I think we've
Went backwards.
We've gone backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's so touchy, so frail, so
Snowflakey.
Yep.
yeah,
Snowflake wintertime.
really almost looking to be hurt, looking to take your words and twist them out of context.
Oh,
And
you mean Democrats, liberals? There's a word for that.
Whatever category you want to put them into, but let's be realistic. I mean, any conversation, especially today, like texting. Let's do texting. You can take any conversation and literally put your own thoughts and ideas as to how you're being spoken to.
That's why I don't text, because I have, me with my sense of humor, and I will text something in a way that I know is sarcastic and funny. Yeah. And when somebody reads, well, what did you mean by that? Yeah. And I'm like, all right, call me. Call me now.
So he
call me now.
Calls you direct, so there's no misinterpretation.
Yeah. That's why. That's why I don't do texting, because it's you can't. Well, using emojis. Screw emojis.
Nah, I don't like those.
Those things are stupid and useless. Yeah. When you say do like a little winky thing, I'm like, I got your little winky thing right here.
I'm sorry.
All right, and trust me, I'm not texting you that. That's my winky, and it's going to stay in my pants where it belongs.
Can I tell you fun about Mr. Winky?
Oh, Captain Winky.
You want to hear some fun stuff about Captain Winky?
As long as it's not mine.
So, y'all know me. I have a house full of daughters, or I had a house full of daughters.
Indeed.
So one of my
gorgeous daughters.
Yeah, here.
Thank you.
Just saying. Mm-hmm. If any of you are listening.
But my second to the youngest wild child has a group of girls that she went to college with that out in the wide world of dating have been sent many a Mr. Winky pic.
That was also a show on ABC back in the wild world of dating.
Winky pic?
No, the wild world of dating.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
And what was it?
You got me right.
I'm focused on her daughters.
At any rate,
I haven't heard anything.
For anybody that happens to, if you know who these young ladies are, you should be aware that if you're sending any of these young ladies your pictures of your,
it's going out there.
It's made its round through the sorority.
Oh yeah.
And they actually circulate them and rate them. I'm like, talk about brutal.
Oh, I love it.
World.
But Mama didn't raise no doormats.
I was going to say, your daughters, I'd expect nothing less. And exactly what you would do.
So yes, they call them pick ratings.
Jeez.
Yep. And what is your pick rating? 2. 2. And the girls are like.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, you do what? She said, oh yeah, Mom. If they're stupid enough to send them, we're circulating them.
Good for them.
Is that what you want to look at when you're drinking your morning coffee?
That's fantastic.
I don't think you want to look at that.
In some cases, it's probably like,
right there.
What is that?
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. He should have kept that in his pants.
Looks like it's cold out.
Been swimming?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're brutal. They're brutal girls.
Well, that's the new dating. That's what people do.
Yeah.
What do they do? Instantly, hey, what's your name? Oh, that's nice. Bing.
Yeah.
Show it right over. Hey, what are you guys doing
That
today?
sounds like a nice time to take another quick break.
Okay.
Being a busy professional often means early mornings and late nights. That's why I kickstart my day with a hot cup of Legacy coffee. With its bold flavor and boost of energy, I power through my day. I don't know where I'd be without my Legacy. It's shipped free to my door, and every purchase donates to charity. Order your Legacy coffee today by going to legacybrewing.shop. Link in the description of this podcast. The Pendulum Society is a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to help those in need that have no other means of getting assistance. Vets struggling with depression, homeless vets, animal abuse prevention, wildlife preservation are just a few of the things the Pendulum Society does. Donate to this amazing organization by going to thependulumsociety.org. Link in the description of this podcast. If you love listening to our show, consider joining one of our membership plans on our Patreon page. Membership starting as low as $1.99 a month will greatly help to support the production of this show and will help us to continue making it better. To show our thanks and appreciation, we've made our shows ad-free to all memberships. Head on over to patreon.com/PSNORKIS and check out all of our available plans. Link in the description.
Okay, coming back from that, I don't think we're going back to pics because that's just. Hey, I didn't.
Ooh, it's politically incorrect.
She
People
coined
may
the
be
phrase. I didn't.
offended.
Yeah, I don't do politically correct. Like I told you, you want a safe space, stay in the womb.
Yeah.
Because once you come out, you're fair game.
I just don't understand what possesses people to send pictures of yourself naked.
I mean,
Those things.
Let's save that for a real date.
Not only that, but they stay forever. I mean, it's
you can't unsee that.
no.
Yeah. You can't unsee
There are a
that.
lot of things I've seen I wish I could unsee, believe me.
Reminds me of a joke my father used to tell.
Knock,
You
knock.
know, where here we go. We're going to be politically incorrect. The Italian guy takes pictures, one of his head, one of his bottom, sends a face to his mother, sends the lower one to his girlfriend.
I know this one.
But actually, he got them mixed up, and so the girlfriend gets the picture, and she's like, "Oh, he looks so cute in this picture." And the mother gets the picture of his genitalia, and she says, "Oh, that's my boy, big and nose of fat the cheeks, and he never combs his hair."
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
I knew it.
Oh,
I knew that where that one was going. So
I never heard that one.
I figured you didn't know.
I'm Italian, too. I thought I would have heard that one. That was pretty good.
You know, my father had one for.
Oh, he did. He
He was
surely
politically
did.
incorrect
Oh,
on many,
boy,
many
was
levels.
he.
An equal opportunity offender.
Yes, he was.
Cool
Yes, he
opportunity.
was.
Well, that's okay. You got to be that way.
Believe it or not, he's one of the reasons why I kind of grew up almost the same way, because I just admired him for just saying what he felt instead of tap dancing around somebody's feelings, which, you know, it's not like it is today. But even back when we were growing up, you didn't go out of your way to offend people, and I still don't. But now you actually have to go out of your way to not offend them. Well, the hell with that.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Yeah.
I've been offended plenty of times. That I guess what you know what I do? I get over it because I'm a big boy.
No, we grew up in households where we were spoken to like intelligent human beings that knew the difference between somebody's disenchantment with us, momentary anger, loss of composure,
Right, for
versus
sure.
you know somebody trying to damage your
Real
soul.
life, yeah.
Right, exactly.
And you weren't allowed to say, "Stop! You're hurting my feelings." You weren't allowed to. You got
Stop your damn crying! I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
That's what we
You got a
got.
belt.
That's what we got.
Let me take my belt off and
Yep.
slap you around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're here to tell about it.
And I lived
we
through
also,
it.
We survived it without any trouble, didn't we? I
We
have
also
no
rode
permanent. Do you have
bicycles with
permanent
no
scars?
helmets,
That's
knee
right.
pads or elbow pads, roller skated without any of
That's
those
right.
things. We didn't have car seats when we were kids.
Yeah, remember
hell
that?
no.
Remember
We're all
that?
still here.
Yeah.
Hell, when we were kids, a lot of the cars we rode in with our parents didn't have seat belts
Yeah, right,
yet because they were
right.
older
And
cars
they're all
then.
smoking in them.
They were older
Ashtrays.
cars then.
Or the
I'll never
ashtrays.
forget the first a Chrysler Broom.
Broom?
Broom. BROUGHM.
Brome.
Broom.
Broom
Broom.
is something,
We used to
Like something you ride.
Well, see, that's
single,
what
single
and you
seater.
know what?
My mom rides that.
That's what my dad always says. Like, hey, your mom got a new broom.
Yeah.
You know,
Where's she going?
and I didn't realize that that's what he meant until much later. And as a result, I'm scarred by that. In as much as I'm just used to saying broom, but brome, yes.
Yeah.
I'm upgraded. I drive a Swiffer now.
Yeah, I hate those foreign jobs. Anyway, oh no, it's those foreign people. I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Hey,
We're all foreigners.
Pay no attention to
only
the man behind the curtain.
Only the ones that come across the border
Yeah.
illegally
And don't listen
but
to our
anyway, yeah, yeah,
Just those.
because they don't speak English anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
my
what? What?
Just open
Do
up.
you miss the womb, Mike?
I
Do you
think
miss
Just
the
open
womb,
up a
Doc?
can
I
of
do.
worms.
I do
You know,
miss the womb.
let's go to Social Security office and see how many languages your freaking
Oh, geez.
paperwork is written in. Like what?
And anyway,
Driver's licenses too.
that Chrysler Rome was, I think, a 69 or maybe even a 70. It was the first car we had. I'm like, what are these? Those are seatbelts. I'm like, what's a seatbelt? You know, I was like 5 years old. I'm like, what is this?
Plus, we all sat up front too. Remember?
Well, you know,
because it
your
was a
mom likes to
bench
drive
seat.
a little
Yeah.
crazy, and you've banged your head off the window a few too many times. We're going to
Yeah.
belt you in now. Explains a lot, doesn't it?
A little bit.
That's it. It
Going
was,
up Mittman Hill.
it was
They were all
it was a bench seat
Yeah,
up front.
well,
So
it was
you'd
awesome.
have 3 people
Three,
up front,
sometimes
3
4.
people in the back, 4
Yeah.
if they were, 4
Well,
if they were small.
Your mom was a tiny person. Your
Sure.
father was a little on the fluffy side.
Yep.
So, you know, sandwich you between, you're probably pretty safe.
Yeah.
And if it was a standard, you had to straddle the
Well,
gear
there wasn't-
shift that came out.
Yeah,
I remember
no,
that.
no. Mom and everyone in my family liked automatics even
Automatic?
back then.
Huh.
Yeah,
Did you know that at one point in time, the car manufacturers actually had, there were 2 sets of keys to every car. One set of
Oh, yeah,
keys
door.
allowed you to shift,
Oh.
and one set of keys allowed you to be an automatic.
no,
There were men
I didn't know
keys
that.
and women keys.
no, I didn't know that.
Yep.
And then the men finally learned how to shift, so they could just do one key.
Right. When they say, I
poor
think
men.
3% of the population can actually drive stick shift.
Yeah.
Oh, and it gets worse because they're making very few standard
I don't buy cars that aren't shifty.
anymore. Well, you're going to have to because there ain't going to be many more. And then they're going to shove electric up your and down your throat, and hopefully,
And then they're going to
don't
tell
make
you.
some-
Then they're going to tell you, "Hey, don't charge your car tonight."
Yeah.
Then they're gonna
right, yeah,
break down.
I
on
think
that.
only 2 of my 6 daughters can drive stick.
really.
All my cars are stick.
I
Love
grew
them.
up driving stick.
Yeah. Well,
My dad had. When I learned to drive, it was a 1982 or 83 Pontiac 2000,
oh, nice. Yeah.
which originally was the Pontiac J2000. Then the next year they made it the Pontiac 2000, which is when he got it. Then after that they just called it the Sunbird. But
Yeah,
it was all
I like
this.
Sunbird.
It was the same body.
Yeah.
They just couldn't figure out what the hell they wanted to do for a name. But I remember that and that's the car I learned to drive on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought my first car was a Ford Mustang, stick shift. Didn't know how to drive stick. Didn't know how to do anything. So I just got in the car and just kept going until I figured it out. And my dad would try to teach me, and I couldn't get it. And then one day I came home from school, and then I just took the keys. I'm like, I'm going to learn today, or that's it. And I went out, and that was it.
And you figured it out.
I figured it out, and then I drove home when I was done. But that's how I learned.
Yeah, we were taught to drive. My father was a foreign car guy,
Yep.
and we
He
were all
worked on the
taught to
foreign
drive
cars. Yep.
stick. He said, I'll be damned if my daughter's going to go out on a date with some guy that has stick shift car and get stranded
stuck
somewhere
somewhere,
because
yeah.
he's had too much to drink or he's being a jerk.
Yeah.
Well,
So we learned to drive. Not my younger sister, though. She was referred to as the bushwhacker.
oh my.
Easy.
Oh my.
Easy. Automatic,
Oh.
beautiful, blue Audi 4-door. My dad bought her. Went to her girlfriend's house right after she got her driver's license and went through the hedges.
I remember that. I
And
remember
therefore she
that.
was
Of
referred
the
to as the
bushwhacker.
bushwhacker.
That's not the story I thought that was coming.
No, I know you.
That's just not what I thought was coming.
Yeah. Funny stuff.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
Your dad had had that old Jaguar in the back.
Oh, really?
He actually
For
sold
years,
that a
old
few years
Jaguar.
before he passed away. He sold
Yep.
that car. Somebody was going to restore it and get back to him.
Yep.
We've never heard anything from the guy who bought it.
The Carmen Gias. We had one of those.
Yep. Carmen Gias, Golfs, Rabbits,
I had a rabbit.
Foxes,
The
Dashers.
Foxes, right?
I had a rabbit.
I had a Diesel Rabbit.
Yeah, so did I.
And a Diesel
Yeah, it was
Rabbit.
diesel.
Man, you couldn't kill that thing.
Yeah, it ran forever.
Then my moron sister borrowed it, and like I put gas in it for you
course, sister.
before I brought it home. I'm like, okay, but what did you put in it? Gas. I'm
Gas,
like,
yeah.
yeah, no, but you know you got diesel, right? What's diesel? I'm like, oh,
Jeez. And that was the end of that.
that was the end of that.
Yeah.
We started
I
calling
mean,
her Sunny.
believe it or not,
Yeah.
we drained the engine and everything, and but it was never quite the same.
You ever put
but
kerosene
damn
in
thing
there?
did work.
You ever put kerosene in there?
No,
No, never
I didn't.
mixed
I
it?
didn't know that back then. No.
Nah, I mixed it a little sometimes.
Well, you know what? You can also use jet fuel.
Yeah, well, I didn't have jet fuel.
I have
It's like
access to
plutonium.
it now.
I didn't have plutonium back then.
when we have
No, I
jet
had a
fuel
rabbit.
is kerosene. It's a high grade kerosene.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the girls drove a purple Jeep Wrangler.
Hey, I tried those. I like those.
Yeah, a little purple Jeep Wrangler.
Not purple, but I like them.
Oh, her name was Cynthia.
Everyone I know that has a Jeep names their Jeep. Every single person I know. Just saying. I don't know what that is. But
It was fun to drive.
Jeeps are awesome. Hey, Jeep sponsor. We all need Jeeps. Just saying. Just saying. Jeeps are so fun to drive. Love them. That's all I'm going to say. Good things. Good things.
Yeah, learned to drive in Volkswagens.
Yep.
Moved up, got nice cars. What's parked in the garage?
My first car.
Volkswagen.
My first car was a 72 because it was used, and my mom had bought it because she owned a ceramic shop. Could take out that middle seat and have a lot of cargo area. It was a 72 Volkswagen bus. You remember that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep. And then when I learned how to drive, that became mine. And man, I had so much fun with that thing.
That was great for hauling equipment, right?
I've never been in one of those, but I've always I've always wanted to be.
Well, the original ones from back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
All right. The steering wheel was pitched like this, like a bus.
Right.
You would drive now because it didn't have seatbelts for crap. It had like a lap belt and a shoulder belt, but they weren't a tension shoulder belt.
Oh,
so if you put it on, you couldn't move with it.
Yeah.
You know, so you didn't wear the shoulder belt because if you had to reach for something, you couldn't. Because it was one you used to just adjust it manually, and then it was stuck there. So that stayed folded up in the ceiling, and you just use a regular. But then you go down the road like this, leaning on the.
Nice.
We had one.
Yep.
My father had one. I remember.
Big stick shift on the side because the floor was down. Yeah. You sat in front, or you sat over the wheels.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Over the front wheels.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
So people riding with you for the first time in the passenger seat as you're coming up to a stoplight or stop sign with another car there, they're like, stop. I'm like, what's your problem? I'm like, do you not realize you're sitting on the wheels? There's nothing here in this front end. There's the engines in the back.
Yep. Yeah. Engines were in the back.
Which is why they were so cold. Because they were air-cooled.
Really bad Christmas. One of our Christmases, I might have been 3 or 4, so we're talking, we had one. And I remember my father leaving and going to Broadway to pick up my grandparents. And then in town, because we lived on one end of South Main Street. My grandparents lived on the other end of South Main Street. And he went to pick up my great-grandparents from there to bring into the projects, I believe, to get my aunt and the boys to bring everybody to the house for Christmas.
Yeah.
And snow was, I was probably 3 or 4 waist deep.
Yeah.
So probably a foot or 2 of snow.
Especially you put a couple people in that thing, and those things would go.
Yeah.
Those would go.
Was there a wall behind the driver's seat, or is that all open?
No,
it was
seats.
all open. It was
all open, so you could just get up from the driver's seat and walk in the back. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, there was a little walkway between the 2 seats. You could come in from the back, get in, and slide
then what was
in.
Back there? Bench seats.
A bench seat, 2 bench seats. Yeah, middle one, which could come out, and then the back one.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
And then I got in 1993, I think I got an 87 Volkswagen Vanagon, which was the newer version of the bus. But by then they had the steering wheel pitched like a normal one. It wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
And it was radiator cooled instead of air cooled, so you had heat. See, with the old ones, they were air cooled. It was air. There were air vents that channeled air across the engine to keep it cool.
Yeah.
But as a result, it would channel some air into like this little ductwork, which went up the bottom underneath the floor on the outside of the vehicle. By the time it came up front, it was ice cold anyway.
Again. Yeah.
You got a little bit of heat in the back vents because it was right off the engine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cold.
But then I
remember blankets being in the car.
Always. You had to.
Always. We didn't have that very long. I do remember him having a green Rambler station wagon, and he would tell stories about some guy riding his ass on Cemetery Curve, and he hit the brakes and grabbed the guy's bumper with his bumper and really took him for the ride of his life.
That sounds like your pop.
He was a little crazy.
Your dad was great.
Yeah,
your dad was
a little
great.
nuts, but fun.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take time again to take another quick break, and we'll be right back.
Legacy Coffee is the official coffee of PSNORKIS. Here at PSNORKIS, we know that not all coffee is created equal. Need a pick-me-up with a fresh, bold flavor? Go to legacybrewing.shop and get your legacy coffee today. Legacy Coffee. What is your legacy? If you love this show, check out the official PSNORKIS gift shop at legacybrewing.shop. 10% of all proceeds go to wildlife preservation. Support our podcast and save our planet, all at the same time. Link in the description of this podcast. The Pendulum Society is a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to help those in need that have no other means of getting assistance. Vets struggling with depression, homeless vets, animal abuse prevention, wildlife preservation are just a few of the things the Pendulum Society does. Donate to this amazing organization by going to thependulumsociety.org. Link in the description of this podcast.
Okay, when we left you, we were talking about cars and different ones that we had, growing up and had fun with, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, first of all, you're driving by yourself for the first time, so there's a sense of freedom that you'd never had before.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's cool, and so you never forget your first car, even if it was a piece of crap. And mine wasn't. Well, actually, really, if I look back, I guess kind of it was, but
yeah. It was cheap crap.
It wasn't to me.
Not to me either.
And it was just
like a Rolls Royce.
So much fun. Plus, I could take so many friends along at one time. It wasn't just
definitely what you want your kid to be doing when they get a brand new driver's license is hauling their friends around. Just load all your little cronies in the car and go. Yeah.
But you got to remember, I started to drive a little bit later than most because back in those days you could get your learner's permit at 16, and but at that point I had stuff going on in school, band, or all the music programs and stuff like that. I did not have time to go out and learn how to drive because after all of those, I'd go home and it was time to have dinner, do my homework, and go to bed. So I didn't even. I had my dad, my aunt, my mom. Someone was going to get me to where I needed to go, And then when I finally got to my senior year, my dad said, "Okay, you need to learn because you're going to have to learn by the time you get out." I'm like, "All right," and I learned. So by the time I actually got my license, I was just past 18, and it was a senior license anyway. I never had that Cinderella license where you had to be in at noon. Yeah, at midnight. I never had that. I went right to, hey, you can be out all damn night if you want.
Well, now the criteria for a driver's license is quite different.
That's what I heard.
There's requirements. You have to have X number of hours behind the wheel. You have to drive the highway. You have to drive in rain. You have to drive in snow.
Oh, that's good.
And they make you log that time in.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, well, now it's more like a pilot's license, but as far as all of that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, the girls drove when they were 16. I wanted them to have their freedom. I wanted them to be independent, and they were very responsible, self-sufficient young ladies. So cars, Kaylin's car, Dirty Gertie, Pontiac Sunfire.
Pontiac. Everyone had Pontiac.
And she drove that thing till it died.
Yeah.
Pontiacs were a good car.
I still have a Pontiac.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Gertie. That's what she called her.
That was a brand that shouldn't have gone away.
Yeah, that's gone. First day I got my license, accident. Anyway, for our listeners out there that don't know what a Cinderella license is when you start to drive, you have to be home at midnight.
Actually, it's 11.
Is it 11 now?
It's 11 o'clock. It was midnight back in the day.
Yeah, which is why it was referred to as a Cinderella's license, but it is 11 o'clock. Curfew is 11 o'clock unless you have a job that keeps you out after 12, and then you have to have verification that you are coming from your job.
That's crazy.
You can't just tell them that's what you're doing. You have to actually be able to prove that.
It's like communist country.
Well,
where are you going? Let me see your papers.
Listen, we got
that now with the Chinese flu, or like called the Chinese plague. But yes,
I think we go one extreme to the next. I think either we have parents that let their kids just run roughshod and do what they do, pay no attention, let them just be on their own and do what they do, or we have helicopter parents. There's very few that fall into that middle ground.
Yeah.
I think you've got one extreme or the other. I was not a helicopter parent, but I definitely kept tabs on the girls. But I was a sole parent. There was just me.
Yeah.
So raising my kids without the benefit of their father.
You didn't hover over them, but you knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You paid attention.
Yeah.
Were you on the group chat when they sent the pictures?
No, I'm not part. I'm not part of that conversation. However,
However, she's seen them all by now.
Yeah, well, the girls are not. They're not shy to
No,
share things.
no,
they're
they're
very upfront people.
Yeah.
Which is why my
Yes,
kids had
they
the
are.
kind of freedom that they had, was because I had kids that were forthright.
Because you could trust them.
They would say to me, so and so's having a party tonight. Their parents are out of town. Is there going to be drinking and boys? Yeah, there's going to be drinking and boys. Well, you can go, but I'll drop you off. You call me when you're ready to come home.
Yeah.
And people, their friends would be like, you told your mom? And they're like, yeah, because she knows everything anyway. Like, she knows it all.
Wow.
So I became the cool mom because I was that mom that said, hey, if you're going to do it, let's be responsible about it. You get yourself in a situation where you need to be looked after. You pick up the phone and you call me, and I don't care that you're not mine. You call me.
Yeah.
I'll come and get you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that went for their friends too. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you will? I'm like, yeah.
And that way,
Oh, my mom would never do that. I'm like, well, you preach abstinence in things in life until it's no longer an option. And
Rather
then you
do that than
you preach prevention
Yeah.
and let's be intelligent and make good choices.
Right, exactly.
You're not going to keep your kids from doing things that kids do. They're going to drink. They're going to experiment with sex. It's just one of those things that's going to happen.
Exactly.
You can't bury your head in the sand and pretend it's not going to happen because you don't want it to. You remember what it's like to be that age? Come on.
Yep. Somewhere out there's a picture with your name on it. Coming your way. Just saying. Just be afraid.
Be very afraid.
Be afraid.
And go through the rating system. Just be careful.
Hopefully it's a healthy picture. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, but you got to be like that when you're dating now. That's what you got to be. You let them make their own choice.
Well, I think the best gift we can give our kids as we're raising them is a sense of self-worth. If your children value themselves, they tend to make better choices and decisions based on how they feel about themselves, what they feel they're worth.
And if they value themselves, they will not easily let somebody else devalue them.
And they won't be sending
Pics.
over the internet.
You never know.
You
You never know.
Can we say dick pics?
You can. Just you did. So, yeah, you can. But for our memberships, they'll be able to hear that without a bleep involved. So
These are real problems as parents you're facing in today's world with all the social media stuff out there. Your kids have access to so many things.
It's definitely different than when we were growing up. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah, there's no sheltering your kids. So, let's be real with them. If you don't want them to have any idea what's going on in the world, keep them away from the television set and away from social media.
they'll watch their friends.
Yeah.
Or something, and they'll pick something up they shouldn't.
I mean, you've got minimal control.
Yeah.
So
you teach them right. That's it. Grow them up.
Those are the options you have.
Train them up right.
You teach them what you want them to know, or you let somebody else teach them what you don't want them to know.
Right.
Yeah, those are your choices.
Right.
Boy, am I glad I don't have little kids.
I got little kids.
I know. They're so cute, though.
They're cute. All one of them.
Well, I think it's an awesome opportunity, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, there's a shout out to all the single moms and dads out there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And the single grandmas.
And do the seasoned professionals out there that can help you navigate the waters, which is where we're at. I mean, I tell my daughters all the time, I have 15 grandchildren.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
I have 15 grandchildren.
That's what?
Yep.
Christmas, I'm sure, was really fun. Jeez.
Grandma's broke.
Yeah,
Right.
Jeez, 15 grandkids.
Just about catch up next November and start it all over again.
Kids. Jeez.
Yep. They range. And this is the killer. They range in age from will be 27 the end of the month. So I have a 27-year-old grandchild. Wow. And the baby is 14 months old.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot he was that old.
Yeah.
They guys have no heat in the building? What's going on over there?
Well, my oldest set of grandchildren came via compliments of my now deceased husband. So he has a child that is 11 years younger than me.
Oh,
we don't discount them because that would be hurtful. And
correct.
So we don't do that.
Yeah.
So I have
15. That's more than a Brady Bunch.
So and my redheaded daughter are the same age. They are 6 weeks apart in age. He was born
the redheaded daughter.
Redheaded daughter. You're all redheads.
Yeah, wait a minute.
The hell are you kidding? Yeah. You are redhead. They're all redheads.
Well, the one we lovingly refer to as Cake. That's her nickname.
Cake.
Yep.
Cake.
But yes, Cake and Zach are 6 weeks apart.
He likes Cake.
Cake, yeah. I just like the name Cake.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to take a bad turn here. Holy
strawberry shortcake.
Hey, dude, you're sitting right next.
I know. She's going to hit me.
She'll knock you right out that chair.
I'm scared of her.
Knock you right out that chair.
Oh, I agree. She's beautiful. She's
she
breathtaking.
Is
all I'm doing is agreeing. That's all I'm doing.
Gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
They're all beautiful. I don't have a dud in the bunch.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have a dud in the bunch. They're all really good-looking girls.
She could, modeling gorgeous. I mean, she just has that.
All right. Knock it off now. All right, now you're torturing
So the neighbor that lived in your house used to tell me all the time, that one there, she could model on the front of Ireland today.
Oh, wow.
Because she's gorgeous.
She looks like every bit Irish, for sure.
Yeah, fire red hair and big sky blue eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful porcelain complexion.
And the funny thing is, believe it or not, red hair in Ireland is not really, it's more common here than it is over there.
What?
Red hair like that, yes.
Oh, like hers?
Natural. I mean, a lot of girls will dye it because it's kind of like
what's common over there then? Strawberry?
Dark hair.
Dark hair.
Darker?
Yeah.
Really?
Darker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's got something to do with
hair.
Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Like Rebel.
Yeah, it's actually more common here than it is over there.
What's funny about it is that there's the redheads have a natural resistance to things like anesthesia, painkillers.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I
so a redhead will require 1.5 times the anesthesia a normal person will require to be put out
for surgery and stuff like that, which can be a real.
Yeah, Cake had
a lot of them will wake up halfway through surgeries.
Halfway through surgery,
That's
she
crazy.
had wisdom teeth pulled out. They put enough in her to drug a horse, as they said. And
she woke up
halfway through the surgery. She woke up, and they were like, "Oh no, she's awake!" and gave her some more.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
So resistant to
Wonder
anesthesia.
Why?
It's a genetic thing.
But
also
not
very
so
high
resistant,
tolerance,
but not so
for
resistant
pain.
to sunlight though.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what them freckers are for.
That's right.
As calls them, freckers.
Freckers.
Yes, not freckles. They're
can't
freckers.
say freckles yet. She says
was,
freckers.
Well, she was 3. In her defense, she was 3. She says freckles very well now because she's 12. But
Oh, nice. What?
But yes,
what
freckles.
that is? Hark! I hear something.
Yeah, dude. We've done a full hour.
That was a quick.
don't get your freckers in a bundle.
I'm not. I'm still thinking about cake.
Cake.
Oh my god!
Don't hit me. She's reaching back to hit me.
She reached back for her phone. You thought she was going to come upside your head.
I thought I was.
I thought she was going to come. I thought she was going to come upside your head
braced
too. To
for
be
it.
honest with you, it has happened before, and it will happen again.
Never. Only mildly abusive.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, I don't have to worry about her anymore. She can handle her own.
Oh, she can indeed.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So there we go. There's another edition of the PSNORKIS podcast.
Yeah, man.
Don't forget to check out our
my goodness,
social
she's
media
gorgeous.
stuff there. Just show
Oh
another
my
picture.
goodness gracious.
Okay, we lost Doc for the rest of the
send
show.
this over to me right now. Oh my goodness.
If he starts making weird sounds, I'm cutting off his
geez.
mic.
Hey,
I'm telling you that right now.
She is beautiful.
Just page through.
Oh, I don't want to. How do you do that? Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
you might
check
have
out our
some
social
pictures.
media. Check out our website,
get off there.
PSNORKIS.com.
Hit the button.
We got a nice new website. Looks pretty good. We're still doing some tweaks on it, but go check it out.
That's that
And
10-year challenge.
you'll get to meet us soon, too, because we're going to put some bios up and things like that, so you know a little bit more about us. So
I'm sorry, I'm lost in the
that's okay. I'm just going to do like the outro here while you get lost in the pictures.
I'm already lost. You know, I like cake a lot more than I like pie. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, don't do that to me, because then I'm going to start losing. Anyway.
Here's cake eating cake. What are you trying to do to me here? Is that cake?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's her with the tiny hands.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you again next time. Have yourselves a good day. Be good to each other. I know it's hard, especially now, but see what you can do, and we'll see you later on. Good night. Good day. Whatever time it is you happen to listen to us.